Okay, first video in a while. So let's talk about holding the pick. I've got a few different picks here, different shapes and sizes. Let's talk about holding it. So most people, the most common grip is this. Some people say this, I think of it like sort of make a fist, and then you got a V right there. So it's kind of like right there, and you kind of put the pick right there, like so. That's how it looks on a most classic sort of guitar pick. So again, put it in there, and then I sort of like, move it around until it feels comfortable, something like that. This puts the most surface area of the finger on the pick. I think that's why it's very stable. You don't have to hold it very tight, and it won't spin. I think you get kind of like a lock right here, and then you get kind of a lock right here. Like, can't make it so you can see it, but over here there's kind of a lock with this first finger as well. So kind of where the edge of the finger kind of sort of goes around, I think that creates these locks. And so this is how it looks on this pick. So again, here's a good old triangle. The Don Sternberg signature pick. So yeah, something like that. This much-ish sticking out. That's personal preference. Some people are going to put more, but don't put much more than this hanging out. You don't want this. This gives you, like, it's not enough leverage. There's a little bit of room for, your personal. So that's the most common. All right, second most common. Something like this. Some great players play like this. Pretty sure Roy Buchanan played like this. I think Danny Gatton played like this. I've got some theories on why those two guys, but Bill Frisell plays like this as far as I know, last I saw him. And Bill is a perfect example of what I tried to stop. This is my natural grip. I was self-taught originally, so I just held the pick. I think also partially because I'm double jointed or, hyperextended, whatever. So when I picked up the pick, that just kind of made sense because that... and then I started playing bluegrass and mandolin, and I always use this grip on mandolin. I just learned it that way, and so that's what I do. On electric guitar, I often go to this one, and this may be why Roy and Danny and those guys use this grip. It's because it really feels more comfortable to me when you're doing hybrid picking than this grip. And that might just be me. Maybe So what I've come around to, I tried for several years to totally eradicate this from my playing, and I found that, especially for electric guitar and doing hybrid picking, which is big for me, big part of what I do, that I just like this, and so I just go back and forth. I tend to encourage people not to do this. If I remember right, Dan Crary, the great bluegrass pioneer, or bluegrass, flat picking pioneer, I think plays this grip. Eddie Van Halen played this, I think. It's a kind of obvious why, so you could tap. But I think Steve Morris and some other guys do that, so it's not wrong. It's just, I will say this. As soon as you put two fingers on the pick, it creates a totally different, almost like musculature. Like, I feel like it uses different muscles. So here, see if you can see it. Here I'm playing this grip. Okay. Now let's see if that changes. Yeah, look at that. It changes. Can you see that? It's different. And then watch this. Totally different. So say I'm doing this. Look at that. It's different. I think if you go this way. Look at that. Middle finger, index finger. Different. Middle finger, index, and it feels different when you're playing. So those are some thoughts on pick grip. So if you watch, like, so again, so I'm playing that stuff, I'm gonna play like that. But if I'm playing flat picking stuff, there it is. some things to think about picking. Let me know if you have questions. Try to keep these kind of short. I can always do more. So yeah, please let me know.